Can somebody on the council tell me what the New Jersey Turnpike shuttle service is? Why are we spending money taking people to their jobs?
We get reimbursed.
Does any of the council people know?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a service we provide because of the construction, because people used to walk over there. It's dangerous now, right? So the Turnpike does reimburse us on that.
Okay. When did they reimburse us? Is it monthly? Is it yearly? Is it?
And the last check we received, I believe, was, if I remember correctly, July.
All right. Now, how does one get approved for this? What if I want to ride to my office? Or I have to go over to that side?
No, well,
All right. So do we know how many people actually...
Mr. Cressy was looking at me, I'm just stating that I've never used the service, so I'm not sure of the process.
Does anybody know from the council?
They run two.
From the council?
They run 2 to 3 services in the morning.
Again, you guys are
To
voting.
the
Pete,
afternoon.
we understand, Pete. If somebody's answering your question.
I don't need somebody. This is a council meeting.
I
I don't need somebody from Bernardsville to come and tell us this piece of
Mr.
fiction.
Malloy.
You guys are voting on this.
We understand.
Not Mr. DeMarco. Mr. DeMarco,
You
you
like
had
it or
at
not,
one
Mr.
point...
Cressy, like he's the one that negotiates those. That the council,
Madam
we're
Chair,
a legislative
you can be
body.
as nasty
We don't.
and
I'm not
inappropriate as
getting
you
nasty.
want to
You're
be.
getting nasty. Someone tried
This
to
is a
your
council
question.
meeting for the taxpayers.
I
This is
understand.
not for you to be nasty to people.
I'm not being nasty. I'm answering your question.
You didn't answer any question.
There is a shuttle. If you go up there, they
And how
gladly
does
take
one
you.
avail themselves of the shuttle?
You go to the stop where the shuttle stops.
Where's
and
the
does the
stop?
pickup. On uptown by the
Burger King.
By the
Burger
Burger
King
King.
parking
Quick
lot.
Check Burger.
Okay, and does everybody know about this? Does everybody know about this? Thanks. So it's for specific people and specific business.
It's for who work down on that area, know about it because it's arranged to their employers.
And so the employers are paying for them to go
The
there?
Turnpike is. We already, I told you that. I said the Turnpike.
But who decides who they're gonna...
The Turnpike
Cart
does,
around?
because they,
Anyone who wants to be transported
So
from
then
one
why are we
side to
doing
the
it?
other.
Why are we doing it? If the Turnpike is doing it, and it's their construction, why is this on our budget?
because they reimburse us for it.
That has nothing to do with it. They don't have to reimburse us for it.
We're providing a service to our citizens.
You're not
Because-
providing anything. You just said the Turnpike's doing
Yes,
it.
we are. They're reimbursing us for us, but they're
What?
getting it
Why are we putting this through the city of Bayonne?
because they're our residents.
Right, that nobody knows about, except for some people employed over in Pulaski.
People are using the service.
No doubt. And
Okay,
you
so
don't know how we sign up for it, do you?
I don't, Mr. Cressy, no, I don't.
Nobody
There is
seems
no
to
sign
know.
up. There is no sign up.
Show up maybe at Burger King.
Well, if you would let me answer the question.
I'm not here to listen to you from Bernardsville. I'm here to listen to the council. They're voting on it. Was I asked a question?
No, you're trying to co-opt the meeting here, Pete, but I'm telling you,
No.
is this woman,
Trying to get
this
the
woman
council
here,
to answer.
this woman here,
You're trying
And as
to
the-
carry on a one-sided
she's the
conversation.
I get to, as the council president, I can, any question asked to me, I'm allowed to refer
I didn't ask you.
to anybody else up here.
I didn't
You can
ask
only
you.
ask me though, that's the way it works,
Okay,
okay?
this is
And
still a
I
hearing
get
though,
to-
right?
And I get
So I'm here to
to,
be heard.
and I get to ask my legal counsel,
Mm-hmm.
my BA or my financial director, or our Department of Public Works, if it's in their area, to answer questions and provide the expertise.
Because you don't
all the
know the
council-
answer.
I do know the answer. I gave it to you, but you don't listen. I told you that it picks it up. I told you exactly that it's reimbursed from the Turnpike, that it's to bring people who used to walk along there while the construction's going on. The Turnpike deemed it was dangerous. It's not a pedestrian crossway, and they provide them access to get to their jobs.
So the question is, why are we doing it as opposed to the
Because
Turnpike?
we agreed to do it to provide service to residents who work back there and need to get there, and not have anybody ran over and suing us about unsafe roads.
Suing us, it's not our roads. It's the Turnpike construction. And who is providing this service, Madam Chairperson?
It's split between the local cab companies. They take turns and everything.
Oh!
Yes?
And it went out to bid?
Well, no, it's not, we don't
So
have to go out
let's
to bid. It
move on.
wasn't something to go out to bid. Didn't need to.
So the monetization, during the hearing that we did, the 3-day hearing, there was an add of 1.2 million in personnel costs. Sat here and we listened to Mr. La Palusa a couple months ago, a couple meetings ago. And then the Davis administration followed up and said there's a hiring freeze. We're not gonna hire anybody. Well, guess what? There's a full-time guy in recreation.
There's no full-time guy in recreation that was hired.
Yeah, you should talk to him, because he thinks he's got a full-time job coming here every day from 8:30 to 4:30.
That's fine, he's a seasonal employee, he does not
I
get...
thought we got rid of seasonals. I thought you certified to Mr. Connolly, the state of New Jersey, and you said last meeting all seasonals would be done by September.
All summer seasonals were...
Summer seasonals. What is it, so winter seasonal?
Yes, that's what the season is. Winter, spring, summer, fall. We hire summer seasonals. We also hire...
Do you know what a hiring freeze means?
I do, sir. We
Right,
also
so why don't you
hire some-
practice it, so me, as a
Do you know-
taxpayer, doesn't have to continue to...
Do you know when one person is speaking to allow them to finish?
Well, this is not your meeting, so I still...
It's also not yours, it's the council's meeting, sir.
Oh,
If you ask a question, Mr.
for a
Crushy,
hearing.
Mr. Crushy.
Don't get your
if you
feelings,
ask
sir.
a
Joe,
question-
don't get your feelings,
My
sir.
feelings are not hurt, Pete.
Okay. So, you heard the business administrator. He went like this to you. He keeps hiring people. He keeps promoting people. Don't vote for this. This is Mayor Davis's budget. Jimmy Davis is allowing this to happen. And when you get your tax increase, you guys have to face the taxpayers. $2 million fund that the Port Authority has set aside to reimburse the city
Oh, you said, I thought you said for homeowners.
for the bridge construction areas.
It was a $2 million impact fee, and that has been redesignated or designated for improvements to Collins Park, which sits in the vicinity of the bridge, because that's what the Port Authority limited that money for. Not for individual homeowners' claims for damage.
I know, and I made that clear with Madam President. Did anybody on the council understand that $2 million from the Port Authority was going to be used for Collins Park?
Yes, we did. Because it has to be in the vicinity of, it's for improvements in the area near the bridge. I was at the meeting where we asked, and they said that would be, Collins Park would be
Have we received the
considered.
money?
Have we received the money, Terrence? Have we actually received the money yet? We haven't done any work either.
If I could just interject, in one of my meetings with the financial people, I had almost about a dozen, I was told that some of the tax deductions that was given for around the downtown area by the bridge was gonna be reimbursed down the road from the $2 million fund of expenses.
No.
There is still an additional ongoing negotiation, or we're working through the legal documents for an additional compensation due to the delay in the current bridge construction. The $2 million that we're talking about for Collins Park was something that was negotiated at the beginning of the construction. So that's where that initial $2 million comes from. The council had voted on that at a public hearing for the reuse of that money. The mayor, myself, and other members met with the Port Authority to talk about an additional fee or impact cost to the city as a result of the delay in the construction. My understanding, and Jay can correct me if I'm wrong, he has been dealing with the council for the Port Authority on the language for that so that they can actually vote on that. And money from that would then be available for other uses by the city.
Services agreement, it's part of the budget. Shared service agreements are a good thing. Last year, we were paying $30,000 for a part-time health officer. With the agreement of 5 cities, we essentially would receive the service for free. But there's more to this, and I know exactly when Mr. Ravelli came through, because he came through with his other buddy from North Hudson, and Mr. Jeff Santini. Unfortunately, this gentleman, and he's a great guy. I mean, Mr. Ravelli does his job. He's got great experience in what he does. But at the end of the day, this guy's at 23 years. If he retires, he's going to retire on our dime as a full-time employee. So this is not really like a good shared services agreement. But this is part of the problem, because the city, has, a history of bad deals. I think that's why we're in this situation. This Port Authority's future thing is just nonsense. To me, if you're going to mortgage the future, you need to invest it into something that's going to generate revenue annually, whatever kind of infrastructure project you can come up with, something related to transportation, those types of things. But I want to also talk about some numbers here, because, politicians lie, numbers don't. If you go back to calendar year 2013, and I want to say that this is significant because it's not an election year at that time, and you have a full kind of budget. I'm looking at these numbers, whether it's from the office of the mayor. We have a $68,000 increase to what's proposed in this budget. The business administrator's office, $77,000. The municipal council and city clerk's office, $86,000. Planning and zoning, $123,000. The law department, $64,000. The Department of Health, to include salaries and wages, other expenses, and solid waste removal, $1,675,000. When you get to Public Works, it's an increase of $700,000. You have another increase here, $253,000. These numbers are significant here. We have a spending problem in the city. For whatever reason, I get it. The political patronage, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, is politics as usual. But the reality is, you're hurting us. When you go back to 2014, now 2014, we have the budget deficit, all that stuff. We take $5 million from the Port Authority and $9 million we take from the BMUA. Then in 2015, the 2015 year, $5 million from the Port Authority, $11 million from the BMUA. You kind of see what the trend here, it's the one-shot deals. We just fill the budget and things sits there next year. So now this year, same deal. $5 million from the Port Authority, and then another, because we sold the futures, we got $12.5 million going for there. $14 million left over for next year, and another $5 million payment, for 2017. We're not accomplishing anything, folks. You got to understand this from the people that are in the audience, the people who are watching at home. This is a struggle. This is the real deal. We're not making investments, and Mr. Cantor was right before when he said something that was pretty smart here, and it's pretty basic. If we just take that $5 million every year and gently raise taxes and address the spending, we'd at least have money long-term to make investments. We're not doing anything. We're not doing any of that. It's embarrassing. This city has such potential to do so many great things, and it's like we have clowns. Like nobody can figure it out. I promise you, there's people in this city that can figure this stuff out, and it's just frustrating. This is now